Ryan Reynolds here for, I guess, my 100th Mint commercial. No. I mean, honestly, when I started this, I thought I only have to do like 4 of these. I mean, it's unlimited premium wireless for $15 a month. How are there still people paying 2 or 3 times that much? I'm sorry, I shouldn't be victim blaming here. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/save. Whenever you're ready.
$45 upfront payment equivalent to $15 per month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Taxes and fees extra. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes. See details.
Hello and welcome to Audiobook Connection, behind the scenes with the creative teams. I'm Becky Parker Geist and I'm your host. Audiobook Connection is your place to learn about the audiobook creative process and for authors to learn valuable tips on producing and marketing your audiobooks. This podcast is sponsored by Pro Audio Voices, helping great stories come alive through audiobook production and marketing. Hi, thanks for being with me today. We're going to focus on marketing, but with an emphasis on ways to approach that marketing. It is so easy to very quickly get overwhelmed with all the many possibilities that are in front of us as ways to market our books and our audiobooks. And if you're an author like most of us, then you probably have a tendency to learn about something new and get really excited about it and maybe start to implement it. And then you learn about the next thing and we can end up just chasing the shiny objects, right? This is very, very common. And it's not that we even recognize it as the next shiny object, but what we are doing is we're trying to come up with is a way to make our marketing actually get going and keep going and have some success. And that success, of course, is always going to be based on what our particular goals are. The emphasis of today's episode, and the one point that I want to make and stress, is to make a plan and follow it. And along that path, there are bound to be lots of other shiny object possibilities all around you, surrounding you, all along the sides of that path. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's actually pretty awesome because after following your plan, achieving or not a certain milestone that you have set for yourself, then you can change your plan, modify, look for something along the path that maybe you've discovered that feels like it might be a good fit for you. At that point, make a plan and follow that plan. And I know that what I'm saying in this whole idea, this is such a basic concept, but what I see in all the different author communities that I'm a part of and that I often experience myself is that desire to try something new, to learn from the latest information that I have in front of me. And because I'm constantly on the search for great marketing techniques, I get confronted by that a lot. So I consider this podcast episode a reminder to myself as well. So here are a few things that I would recommend as you are making that initial plan. First of all, I highly recommend not doing it all by yourself. Map out some guidelines, map out some ideas of what you think you would like to do, and then at the very least, consult, even if it's just for an hour, with a marketing expert. If you are a marketing expert, then that might be an exception to this recommendation. But even with that, it really helps to get outside input. Just as we never want to be editing our own books, and even if we're professional editors, we wouldn't want to just leave it in our own hands because that's only one set of eyes, one set of ideas. When we consult with someone else, we broaden the perspective, open up the lens, and can get a lot of valuable input that may make a big difference in our results. Another thing I'd like to propose is that when you're making that plan, look at the different pieces of that puzzle that you are putting together as your map to move forward. Are there any pieces in there that you sort of cringe at or you tighten up around? Because if there are, it is fairly likely that those aspects of the plan you're going to end up not implementing because you have an aversion to it, whatever that may be. Maybe it's that you make your plan and you're convinced that you really need to do ads on Facebook, but you don't particularly like Facebook. Well, you may have that sort of resistance to doing it. And if you do, then that's probably not a good choice. Again, there are so many options out there available to us. Choosing ones that you are going to enjoy doing are going to help lead to your greater success because you're more likely to do them, right? And I'm also going to recommend that as you create this initial plan, that you try not to make it too comprehensive. Keep in mind that you want to have a plan that you're actually going to be able to do, to implement. And one of the best ways to do that is to keep it a modest plan, something that's not so huge that you can't get it done. You don't want a daunting marketing plan. If you were thinking about using a paper map to go somewhere, you might think of it rather than trying to map out your route across the entire United States, that you're just going to get across the state. Or maybe you're just going to get through your own county. What this sort of chunking down allows you to do is to actually have a more successful experience with your marketing plan, such that you are able to achieve a smaller goal, a more manageable goal, and then you can do any readjustment, any tweaking that needs to happen, and move on to your next phase. So that would be another way of thinking about it, is in phases. But again, I'm just going to recommend that if marketing ever feels overwhelming to you, like it does to most of us, that just do one phase at a time. Once you get to that milestone, your next milestone after that will become clearer, and the ways to get to it will also become clearer because you have more experience now behind you with things that you have tried that have either worked well or maybe not so well or maybe not at all. And that experience can help guide your next phase. Let's take just a short pause and we'll be right back.
Looking for a marketing plan and the support to implement it? At Pro Audio Voices, we're here to help. The audiobook marketing program offers 3 levels of launch packages to meet your needs. Each 3-month program includes a custom marketing blueprint that is created through one-to-one strategy sessions with our marketing strategy team. You'll get access to the AMP membership portal with modules you can go through at your own pace, as well as a checklist to keep you on track. You'll also get a custom-built library of marketing assets, videos you can use in the places you'll be focusing on based on your marketing blueprint, a monthly coaching call, custom keywords and hashtags, your own direct sales landing page where you'll earn 70% of whatever price you said. And that's just the beginning. Visit audiobookmarketingprogram.com to learn more.
And we're back. So just as a quick recap of the first part of the episode, first thing, make a plan. Next, take that plan and consult with somebody at the minimum to get help and additional input into what your plan includes. Third, include things in your plan that you will actually do, things that you don't have a resistance to doing. And fourth, chunk it down, doing short segments or phases of a marketing plan with milestones. And then at each milestone, you can adjust according to your previous experience, or continue forward with your next phase. So now the next piece I want to suggest is mapping deeply. And what I mean by that is that when you put in your plan something like you're going to build your, I'll just use Facebook again, build your Facebook following. If that is your plan, then that's fine, but I want you to really dig deep into what does that mean? That probably means making sure that your Facebook profile is really fully fleshed out, that you're using the right tabs, that your page is the right kind of page, a business page or an author page, that you have a plan for how frequently you're going to post, but also what are you going to post? Where are you going to find your content? What time are you going to put on your calendar such that you know that you'll actually have time to do the research that you may need to gather the content that you're then going to use in your posts? If you're going to plan to use images or memes, things like that, or audiograms, which I highly recommend, then you're going to want to know how you're going to have those created. Are you going to get help having them created, or are you going to do that yourself? Do you have the skills to do each of those things? If not, and if it's a fairly easy skill to take on, then you may want to put in the time to learn that. Put that learning time in your marketing plan. Otherwise, it might be just about finding the resources, finding the team to help you develop those assets. So when I talk about mapping deeply, here I'm really just trying to get at the realistic view of what it takes to do the things that you're adding to your marketing plan. Another example might be PR. If one of your approaches for marketing is press releases and getting media appearances, getting on podcasts as a guest, or getting articles in print media, whatever it is that you want to take on, I want you to really think about the how of that when you're doing your plan. That will make your plan much more realistic. And the more realistic it becomes, the more you can feel like you know exactly what to do, so that you can, if you want to, you can create a full-on checklist. I'm going to do this, 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 and this, and that will get me to this place. All of that helps you feel the success potential for your plan. And that is a great place to start. And we're going to leave it at that for today. Thank you so much for being with me. If you are looking for marketing help with your audiobook or your author platform and you have an audiobook, I hope that you'll consider the audiobook marketing program and some of the other options we have at proaudiovoices.com. We have developed all of that because we wanted to address the challenges that we were seeing that our clients were having and other authors, in our sphere were having. And so it was really created out of tremendous amount of observation, learning from our clients, learning where challenges have been and how we can help overcome the hurdles that we were seeing authors run into. And no surprise, step number 1 in the audiobook marketing program is the creation of a marketing blueprint, a plan. Again, thanks for being with me, and I look forward to hearing from you. Thanks for joining us for Audiobook Connection, behind the scenes with the creative teams. Please take a moment to subscribe at audiobookconnection.com. The podcast is sponsored by Pro Audio Voices, helping great stories come alive through audiobook production and marketing. Learn more at proaudiovoices.com. Again, thanks for being with us, and please join us next week.
This podcast is a part of the C-Suite Radio Network. For more top business podcasts, visit c-suiteradio.com.